Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host, Gershwan, and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue talking about Spacemarine chapters as we get into the Shadow Wolves. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K content every single day. And of course, if you have any suggestions, just comment down below. But with that said, let's get into 40 facts on the Shadow Wolves. The Shadow Wolves was a Codex Astartes-compliant Loyalist Space Marine chapter, derived from the Imperial Fist gene seed, created during an unknown founding. The Shadow Wolves' power armor was dark purple with silver shoulder pauldrons and backpacks. The skull of the double-headed eagle icon of the Imperialis or Aquila on the chest guard was dark purple or sometimes replaced with a silver wolf's head. The Shadow Wolves chapter badge was the profile of a silver wolf's head on a field of dark purple. The Shadow Wolves was a fairly pragmatic chapter of Astartes, for it sought to cause maximum attrition amongst the foe, while minimizing its own casualties by any means necessary. Fluidity, timing, and technique were all subverted to the Shadow Wolves' simple, primordial desire to be the last man standing in a fight. To them, survival was everything, for displays of prowess with bolter or blades were worth little to the dead. They had no need for the Imperial Fist's bombastic last stand, or the Black Templars' relentless advance and indiscriminate purges. Like their parent chapter, the Shadow Wolves were the epitome of the Codex Astartes doctrine. All ranks were able to make tactical decisions and were encouraged to act on their own initiative. In accordance with the Codex Astartes, the Shadow Wolves combine all arms in flexible, balanced battle groups, each of which could present an opponent with a diversity of threats. The Shadow Wolves would then press their attack so swiftly that the foe was overwhelmed before they could react. The Shadow Wolves retained the traditional skills of the Imperial Fist in urban and siege warfare, although they were quite willing to engage and defeat the enemy in open battle in any environment. They used fortifications when on the defensive, but only after all of the more aggressive options had been exhausted. Like the Imperial Fist, the Shadow Wolves' principal weakness was their reluctance to accept the possibility of defeat that sometimes blinded them to risks inherent in their aggressive stratagems. As with many early founding chapters, the Shadow Wolves were also noted for bearing all manner of holy relics and ancient arms and patterns of battleplate. They appear to have inherited the most revered arms and armor of the original Imperial Fist Legion, and carefully preserved them down through the millennia against the foes of the Imperium. They had a propensity for making use of the Mark VI Corvus pattern power armor. On the year 987 of the 41st millennium, the Shadow Wolves' homeworld of Veridon was ravaged by the foul Xenos of the Tyranid splinter fleet. The Shadow Wolves attempted to defend their homeworld from the predations of this merciless great devourer. Astropathic distress beacons were transmitted through the warp solar weeks after the attack, before their fortress monastery finally fell to the enemy. The Black Templars swiftly answered their brother chapter summons and attempted to penetrate the swarms of Tyranids besieging the ruins of the Shadow Wolves' fortress monastery, but the unrelenting ferociousness of the alien tide hampered their efforts. In the end, only a handful of Shadow Wolves remained, their blades broken and their bolters spent. They died in honorable battle as they made their defiant last stand, still claiming the litanies of hate against the alien, chanting their bitter fury at their foes even as they were annihilated. A lone Shadow Wolf battle brother, though horrendously wounded and on his knees beneath the chapter's standard, attempted to maintain his chapter's honor to the last, for the Shadow Wolf's war banner could not be allowed to fall while one of the Astartes of the chapter yet lived. The doomed Space Marine held it aloft defiantly, keeping the banner upright and proud even as the Xeno creatures tore him into pieces. He died in a brutal and glorified manner, which for an Astarte could only be described as a beautiful death. And those were 40 facts on the Shadow Wolves. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, share it with your friends, and if you have any suggestions for other Space Marine chapters that you guys would like to hear a video about, comment down below. We're gonna tally up all the different suggestions and we'll get that video out there. Also, we haven't done a first founding Space Marine chapter video in quite a while, so comment down below also what Space Marine first founding chapter you would like to hear about next. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out the wiki page because there's more lore that we did not cover in this short video. So link down in the description. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. This was Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate signing out.